Sorry I'm late. I'm always a few minutes late anyways, you can guarantee that. I'm just gonna wait and see if the notification goes out. I know it's usually most people's supper time in the Eastern time zone, but I don't like going live when like other friends of mine are live. They have much bigger channels and like we kind of share audiences, so I don't like to go live during that time, like the time when they are. So I usually just either go late at night or early or whatever, and then people can catch it on the replay. So I'm just gonna wait a second. I didn't even send the link out to everybody. I was trying to get my dog straightened around before I went live because he's always like famous for, you know, barking or wanting out or something. So at least I'm not distracted. I'm just gonna wait a second. Oh, hey Chris, how are you? I watched. Oh, hey, how are you, Adam? I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? um. So yeah, like I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. So if you're not in Canada, because some of my viewers are not, actually most of them, well, yeah, I would say most are not. We've had one commission so far for the Emergencies Act that happened during the convoy. And now the other one started today. So this one is a bigger deal. This one is where like the prime minister and the deputy prime minister and all of these like, head assholes in charge are going to come in and they're going to, you know, run out the clock. Now, we've never seen this type of parliamentary I can't talk today, procedure before because this is something that has never happened before. But the list of the people that are required to speak at this commission, a list got leaked out the other day on Twitter. And out of, I believe, 65 people, there was 10 people or 10 or 11 people that were like directly involved with the convoy. So I watched most of this morning. It was basically introductions and stuff like that. I know you're not in the States. um, but so so today was basically introductions, and from what I've seen, like I missed some of it because I had to go out. I had an appointment at like 12 o'clock, so I missed some of it. But it was like there was like I can't remember the guy's name. I was watching it live on the War Campaigns channel. So I just wanted to say something that I think kind of needs to be said, and I'm talking to myself as well. um when I say this, like, you've heard me talk about this a lot lately because I want to refresh people's memories as to the real facts, what happened during the convoy, because we're going to hear a lot of information. This commission that just started, this one is a super big fucking deal. Okay, it's going to last for 6 weeks. And will we ever know the results of what happens? Probably not. But what I want to say to people and to myself is like, we have been so fucking pissed off for so long, okay? And we've all been waiting for this, what we call Judgment Day, because now is the time when like the prime minister is going to have to answer for his actions, for his decisions. And a lot of people are going to have to answer for the same decisions. And, a lot of us know the truth of what happened. There's going to be some details that come out that are probably going to shock some of us, that are probably going to upset some of us. There's going to be some lies told. I don't know how far in depth this investigation is, but it's a really big deal from what I'm told. But like, this is precedent setting because this used to be formerly known as the War Measures Act. And ironically, JT, the baby Huey fucking prime minister, the toddler of parliament, his daddy was the last one to use this for the FLQ crisis, but it was known at that time as the War Measures Act. And I believe that was in 1970. So that was just a little bit before my time. And I don't know what, if any, results they had of that, but I guess there was kind of scandals around that as well. But I was watching the War Campaign, and this guy is always so chill. Like, I admire his ability to stay chill, even in the times when everybody's like, roar! And today he was streaming the proceedings, and that's where I was watching it because like I like his spin on things. He's very pragmatic in his thinking. He's very logical. He keeps his emotions in check. Like, he's really fucking brilliant. Like, the guy's a computer whiz. Like, he knows so much about a lot of things, right? And I really admire his like just chill. He's just very chill and very zen, right? So today I was watching it and he was like, I'm so fucking pissed off. And it's like, dude, I feel it too. Like we all do. Like we've been walking around pissed off for so long, right? Because we want to see some sort of results, some sort of justification, some sort of justice. But I think what we need to do at this point and going forward is change the way that we look at the expectations of what we think is going to happen as a result of this. So, what I mean by that is that after the 6 weeks is done, I would assume they're going to debate, and I don't know if it'll ever be made public the results of what's happening. So is it like a normal court procedure, where you go in, you have a court case, you cross-examine, blah, 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 or a judge or a jury or whatever, however you plead, decides your fate, and then like maybe go to jail. So we can just take that off the table right now, because remember, we're dealing with people with fucking invisibility shields. They wear the invisibility shield, so bullshit just rolls right off them, like they're exempt from everything. So I think, the way that we need to look at this going forward is, like, if it were up to us, we would bring back old times and do what they do in the old times in public squares. Like, I mean, I I don't want to say the words because, like, God, somebody take it out of context, and next thing you know, I've got people knocking on my door. I don't need that, but you know where I'm going with that. So instead of looking at it as like, is anybody going to go to jail? Is anybody going to lose their positions? Maybe that might happen. It really depends on what people say during the next 6 weeks. And it also, I think what our justification out of this, I think our expectation should be, is that the truth is going to come out, even the words that they don't say. It's televised on TV. They can't scrub the frickin' internet, and they can't pick and choose what they like to call as disinformation. They almost, well, like I told you guys before, they're trying to pass a bill called C-11, which censors what we say. Like another, stomp all over our Charter of Rights. Like it's nonsense. Like I'm so sick of Canada right now, like honestly. And also I'm also sick of being upset all the time. So I think what our expectations in this or out of this should be is that we are going to ultimately hear most of the truth and piece together what they don't say. And I think I think a lot of people who were non-believers and thought we were all crazy and turned their backs on us and was like, fuck you guys are nuts. You don't know what you're talking about. I think they're going to see the truth. So that can be a justice. That can be a victory for us. And then also the fact that they may or may not lose their positions, like, but the reality is once the truth is out there and the whole entire fucking world sees it, because believe me, like everybody's watching this right now, is that even if they don't lose their positions, they're not really going to be able to go anywhere in public again. Like this is going to follow them for the rest of their freaking lives. Okay. Chris Freeland, whatever her stupid freaking name is, the one with Hooked on Phonics, when JT's talking and she's like nodding her head and making faces, like she really is hooked on phonics or something. I don't know. Methadone. I don't know. But like these people, like she went and froze bank accounts based on hearsay. She said that a lot of the donors that were donating to what was originally the GoFundMe, they closed that account down or seized it or whatever the hell they did. And then they opened up another, it's called Give, Send, Go. And I believe the first account raised like $10 million. And I think the second one raised in or around the same amount of money. And right now that money's held in escrow and nobody can touch it because they're ultimately waiting for a decision. But Krista, I can't say her stupid name because I hate her so much, but Freeland goes on TV, okay? And she goes, okay, so this money that was donated from, into this is terrorist money. This is what she tells the TV at the time, okay? And she goes, FinTrack has told us that there is foreign investors from other countries, and this is like for acts of terrorism. This is what she goes on TV and says during the convoy. So she froze people's bank accounts based on hearsay. I'm going to say it right now because it's already been documented and noted in the previous hearing that we just finished having, that FinTrack did not say that. So they threw her under the bus. Like, bitch, we're not covering for you anymore. Like, get your lives straight, okay? So it was also documented in the first proceedings that 88% of the funds came from Canadians. And there was nobody that was a quote unquote terrorist donating to a cause that they believed in. It was supposed to be for the truckers. It was in support. Like, people make GoFundMe's to do anything. Like, I've seen people do it for like dogs or cats or for whatever reason. Like, I've just seen people do it because they need, I don't know, whatever done, right? Like, or just need money. Like, I've never seen the interference of the government go in, freeze people's bank accounts. They went on TV and said, we are going to get you. We are going to hunt you down. We are going to find you. We are going to cancel your insurance. We are going to call the companies of the trucks that you have. We're going to make you lose your jobs. We're going to freeze your bank accounts. We're going to cancel your car insurance. It was just complete chaos. And of course, now that set a precedent. And they don't want to give those powers up. Go figure. So like I said, in the first committee, it was already documented that she's full of shit. So we already know that. So I think our expectations, like I said, from this whole committee is that the whole world will now see, even the ones that have their heads still up their asses and don't want to admit that they were wrong and we were right. Big fuck you to those people. Yep, said it. Gonna say it again. Big fuck you to you guys, because you turned your back on friends, family, like a lot of people. I lost a lot of people over this shit. And at the end of the day, if they want to walk out the door, I'm gonna fucking hold it open for them. Like, I am who I am, and I'm not changing for anybody. And if you don't like it, fuck off. And if you think I'm crazy because I had a different viewpoint than you guys, so be it. But I'll tell you what, I was forced into taking that stupid shot, because if I didn't take it, I wouldn't have a job. And I had to go for pre-op last week because I have surgery tomorrow. And I just found out that I have something wrong with my heart now. And I'm too afraid to go to the doctors to find out what it is, but the writing's on the wall. And who's going to pay for that, you know? So if people wonder why some of us are so upset, not only did we lose everything, financially, physically, some people lost their jobs. Some are still in the process of losing things, lost loved ones that died, couldn't go to their funerals. Family and friends divided over differences of opinions, because up until really right now, we couldn't have a civil discussion about this. It was so censored that, like, it was such a taboo subject that people refused to engage in just a conversation about it, like I'm doing right now. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what happened to being able to sit down and have a civilized conversation, even when you disagree? Like, I mean, I've always said, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. Do you? Do what's best for you. Do what's best for your family. And I got forced into taking something that I didn't want to fucking take anyways. And now there's something wrong with my heart, and I'm too afraid to find out what it is, because I'm not stupid. I know what it is, and I know what it's from. So whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. And I haven't even told my family yet, and hopefully they're not watching, because they're going to be pissed off that I didn't tell them. But my brother's got my YouTube channel, so if he's watching or catches it on the replay, sorry dude that I didn't tell you, but I've been trying to wrap my fucking head around it myself. So, but it's cost some of us a lot. And the last video that I did, the one on Sunday, I had someone reach out to me, and she was asking what my views were on the Indigenous people and if I support them. And I absolutely do. And I even said, I think on the previous one that I did just before, I think the one from last Friday that I did, I was talking about the incident that happened at the Ledge Grounds in Winnipeg, and how the police went in the teepees with guns drawn, and there was children in there, there was women in there, they threw them to the ground. And since then, everybody's like, well, we want to help, but we don't know what to do. So the clan mothers, who have actually authority over the chiefs even of each band, went to Parliament, and they made a statement and said that any peace treaties that we had with the government are null and void. So they're basically saying, go fuck yourselves. I revoke my social insurance number. I revoke my fucking birth certificate number. I'm no longer a corporation. Any deals that were made in the past, fuck you guys, because you screwed us over. And they have. And I would love to help, but there's some details of like the Indigenous people that I don't understand. Like, I do have a lot of knowledge, but there's some things I don't understand. Like, from what I understand, a little bit of it is that there is some trouble between some of the tribes, and I'm not really sure of what that is. And I, like, if somebody would love to fill me in on that, I would absolutely draw attention to it and talk about it. But I just, unless I'm fully versed on everything about it, I don't really know. And I'm not even sure that, like, I do have some native friends that I think would absolutely, like, I know there's one dude I could, pretty much message him and just ask him some questions, and he would be really straight up with me. But I would like to talk to several people and get their views, because each clan is different, right? Like, the way the reserve is run in Ontario is completely freaking different than the one in Alberta, for instance. Like, the one in Ontario, they allow the white man to go out there and get gas at a discounted price, and they allow us to buy cheap smokes. In Alberta, they do not. They will not. They don't even like us using their roads. If the Trans-Canada gets shut down, like if there's a rock slide or a mudslide, or if it's bad weather and they detour traffic, if there's an accident and we have to go on the reservation, they charge us money, because they don't have a good relationship. And I totally understand. Like, I mean, I would love to fight with them. They've been treated so unfairly in this life, you know, and I would love to stand up with them. But I, like, right now, the last thing that we were told from, after the clan mothers went to Ottawa and spoke in front of Parliament and basically called them out and everything else, we were told to wait on direction from the clan mothers. So that's what we're doing. And I believe that was just, I want to say it was either Tuesday or Wednesday that the clan mothers went to Parliament. And if anybody's interested in seeing that, I can upload that. Because I know one of the guys that was there that let them, like, that videoed it while they were speaking. So, hey, Montauk. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to things that are going on. And I think we need to just take small victories as they come. For instance, the doctor in Alberta, Dina Hinshaw, while the whole province was on lockdown, she got, I think it was like a $230,000 raise, and she was just really rough on the people. And she ended up losing her job today or yesterday, I can't remember which. But, like, I'm saying, let the dominoes roll, you know what I mean? Because it's going to happen. Like, all these people that think that they're protected with their gold watch pensions, like, I would love to say in a perfect world, yeah, they're going to go to jail, but we all know they're not. We know that nothing's going to come of it, but we have to take each victory as it comes. Like, some of these people, like, for instance, today, let me tell you something. The chief medical officer for Ontario is already saying that people should be wearing their masks. Like, if you think that you're going to force us into wearing those fucking things again, like, I'll meet you in Ottawa. I'll meet you there, because I'm not doing that again. Forget it. Like, screw you guys. And screw you guys forcing a jab on someone when it's proven that it wasn't even, it was just released the other day. It's all over Twitter that it wasn't treat or tested. I think it was Moderna, or no, the Pfizer one wasn't tested for the treatment of, or something. It wasn't supposed to stop transmission, but they were forcing it on everyone. Like, it was the be all end all. And they're already talking about, like, Trudeau has already gone on TV and saying, oh, we need 85% because people's immunity is gone now, because if it's been more than 6 months since you've had your last shot, then you're no longer, like, protected. Listen here, bitch. Our chief medical officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, dude looks like a lady. I'm sick of people pushing their fucking will onto others, and now I got a fucking heart problem because of their bullshit. They're not going to pay for it. Fuck you guys. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. But like I said, I'm sick of being angry too. Like, I have changed so much. Like, and I want to be me again. Like, I really want to be me. Like, I miss me, And if I don't have much time left here, I'm going to live my best fucking life and go out with a bang. Boom. Like, you know. But like I said before, you're not allowed to be angry. You're not allowed to be upset. You're not allowed to be anything. You just do these things that these people want you to do. And don't worry if you die now. Don't worry about it. Like, I think the last count was like 33 doctors just dropped dead. No reason for it. Like, it's just, oh, it's maddening but I'm sick of being mad. I'm sick of being upset. I'm sick of being just not myself. Like, and that's what they wanted. They wanted to break us. And there was a point in time that I almost thought they did. I almost caved and said, you know what? I'm getting on the truck. But I didn't, because something just kept saying, not yet, not yet, not yet. And I don't know. I still don't know what the reason is for that. Maybe I'll find out. Maybe I won't. Who fucking knows? But I think that we have to look at, each thing as it comes and celebrate the small wins. One of the narratives that they were really pushing during the convoy is that it was we were terrorists and we were misogynists and we were racist because someone had a swastika there or something like that. And it was actually determined just days ago that CSIS, which is like, I don't even know what it's the acronym for. It's like, the terrorist police or something, they deemed that it was not part of the convoy, like they were trying to say. So like a lot of truth is going to come out in time, and even probably by accident. And another good thing about this whole procedure that's coming up is they're not allowed to hide behind cabinet confidentiality, because that's what they were trying to do in the last one. And they can't use that. These guys are much better people than me, because if it was up to me, I would have already fucking I would have went in there like a year ago, stolen their fucking hard drives, taken their phones. I'd be going through their financials. I'd be tracing money everywhere. Like, I would have been all over this shit. Like, they are way more tolerant than I am and more patient. Because when I see something corrupt or something wrong or an injustice happening, I'm the first one like, rawr, you know what I mean? I don't know why. I've always been like that. It doesn't help me. It always gets me in trouble. Fuck. But you'd think I'd learn my lesson by now, but nope. I guess that's who I am, and I'm not going to change. So whatever. But yeah, like if you look at it, there has been some victories. Listen to this one. The Arrive Can't app that we had in Ontario, or no, sorry, it wasn't just Ontario, it was in Canada. Trudeau spent $54 million on this stupid fucking app that somebody said that their kid could have created in a weekend, okay? And you had to download it. And if you were like flying and coming back into Canada or whatever, or through customs, you were getting pulled over at what they called PHAC, public health. And they were forcing you to disclose your medical status and all this information and tracking you and blah, blah, blah. More tracking. Why don't you just give us all fucking ankle bracelets and call it a day? Because that's really what they want to do, right? So they refused to fucking let it go. And there was even one guy, he was a CBSA officer, Patrick McNulty, and he would make these videos and he was going off, and he was he worked for the border guards, and he was like, you guys don't have to fucking do this. And he's like, if they say this, you do this. And like, he's got his videos are still up on Instagram. So while he was off work on medical leave, they fucking fired him, which I wasn't even aware that a company could even do that. I thought that was illegal in my mind, but I don't know. Who the hell am I? I'm not a lawyer, right? But pretty sure he's got one. And then they also want to charge him, I don't know, something, because I guess if you work for the government, you're not allowed to speak against the government. So what do they think is what do they think is going to come out of this commission then? If I just said the answer right there, if you work for the government, it's funny. Like, I've been in this situation before. Okay, there years and years ago, I was a manager at this place, right? And this fucking shift manager, that was like my first direct report, because I was running night shift at the time. And he fucking hated this one lady that worked there. Like, I mean, he just couldn't stand her. And I'll be honest, she wasn't a great worker, but she was old, and she was like a steady Eddie, I call them. Like, she was the type of person that would show up to work every day, wouldn't really give you a whole lot of trouble, you know what I'm saying? And she was by no means a superstar, but she was there, right? Like, she probably didn't, maybe had 10 years left to work, and I would think, I don't know. So this manager fucking hated her, and he wanted to get rid of her, but she really never did anything wrong to warrant even an escalation, like even like a corrective action or anything, So one morning, actually, we were heading out of work, and we always, at the end of shift, we would go in and talk to like the day shift boss, right? Do a handoff or whatever. And we would talk about our production and any issues that we had. And so I seen this guy because they had forklifts assigned to people, right? And I seen this guy from day shift grab, like, bend over, pick something up, grab something, and he walked up front, and I didn't know what it was. So, anyways, we go up front and we go to talk to our boss, and he's like, do you see anybody with like red eyes or anything like that? And I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to be more specific. Like we work night shift. Everybody's got fucking red eyes. Like, what the hell, right? And he's like, I guess it was a bag of weed found on her forklift. Now, I know in my fucking heart that it did not belong to her. Like I know who smoke. I smoke weed. I can tell who smokes and who don't. Like, she was old and just she was she's just not the type. Like, she didn't even smoke cigarettes, for Christ's sake. Never mind weed, okay? So I don't know how this happened. I don't know if someone did it to set her up. For all I know, it could have been the manager. I don't know. So, I was like, well, I highly doubt that it was this woman, right? I'm not gonna give any names or anything. So, long story short, like, the shift manager that I said was shady wanted, like, me and another supervisor to write some letters to support getting her fired. And I was like, well, like I said to him what I just said to you guys, right? I was like, well, there's not really any grounds for dismissal. Like, there's not even really grounds for her to be written up. And like, we have a corrective action procedure. Like, you got to get wrote up like a couple times, and then it goes to like a suspension and then a termination, right? But I don't know. So he wanted us to forge paperwork, like doctor up some paperwork, like they're doing in Parliament right now. So this was my first position as management. I think I was like 27 years old. And I had a real fucking moral issue with that because I was like, dude, that's not the right way of doing things. Like, I mean, not everybody is going to be a fucking superstar, okay? And you have to accept people's strengths and their weaknesses. And you just put her in an area where it's not really going to affect us one way or the other. That's my theory, right? But he's like, nope. So like I really fucking struggle with that. And I was like, well, I don't really know what to do. Like, this isn't right. And I'm not comfortable with that. So I went home and I was like, I'll think about it. So it was about 12 o'clock in the afternoon and I was still up. Like, we were done work at like 7. I got home probably about 8. And I was like tossing and turning. So I was like, I gotta go talk to somebody about this because it's just not sitting right with me and I really don't know what to do. And I just kind of wanted some advice, right? So I go to like the building manager of the whole place, thinking I'm doing the right thing, mind you. So I walk into his office and he's like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be sleeping. And I'm like, I know, I can't fucking sleep. And here's why. So I told him what happened. Again, still thinking I'm doing the right thing, being honest. Like, I'm not trying to create a problem. I was actually just looking for some advice, really, like what to do, because, when you're a manager, like, there's a certain legal responsibility that you have too. And if you do something that is against a labor law, you can also be held responsible. And I'm not signing off on anything that was going to come after me. So I thought I was doing the right thing. And basically, long story short, they thought I was the asshole in the situation, not the one who wanted to doctor up the evidence to get her fired. So they did it without our paperwork. Anyways, and she went through the labor board, and I don't know, she ended up getting a good chunk of change because it was a wrongful dismissal. And she even offered to go get a drug test because you just knew, like, she wasn't a dope smoker. So, but again, it was a point to prove that doing something, telling the truth, because you're struggling with it on a moral level, you don't know what to do about it. You go and ask your senior building manager boss, like, what do I do? Like, I wasn't going in there and throwing anyone under the bus. I was just like, I want your advice on what to do. And like, they basically turned it on me, and it was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, wow, man. It was just, it's a backwards world, you know what I mean? You think that they would support honesty and integrity and transparency, but no, they shit on it, they trample all over it with horses, they fucking fire it. Like, I mean, I don't get it. And maybe I'm not meant for this fucking world, so maybe things are happening for a reason. I don't fucking know. But if this is the way it is, Like if that's how you have to get ahead, is like lying, shitting on people, doctoring fucking documents, erasing shit, you know, all this kind of fucking backdoor meetings and deals and all this other shit, maybe it's not something I want to be involved in after all. Maybe the fucking money ain't worth it because it's got blood all over it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. Hey, Evelyn, how's it going? Who? Wait a minute. What did I miss? Hang on a second here. I haven't been looking at the comments. I was just talking. Hang on a second. I guess I missed a lot. I'm sorry about that. Hang on. What's going on, Evelyn? Yeah. We've kept our receipts. Well, and that's the thing, and everyone's doing the same thing I'm doing, is like, you know, we're going through our archives, and I've been doing that for the last couple days, and I'll have another one put together soon because I want to put it all together in like a very telling manner. So like it just, even like I said, even if there's no results, the court of public opinion is perception is reality. That's what my boss told me. The one who now thought I was a problem, you know what I mean, for being honest and looking for advice on how to handle a situation. Perception is reality. So it doesn't matter if it's true or not. You know, if I think you're an asshole, then you're an asshole. That's what that tells me. So just take satisfaction in the fact that A, we were right, and B, these motherfuckers, there's not going to be a country in the fucking world that they can go to that they're not going to get booed out of. Like everywhere Trudeau goes, gets booed everywhere. Freeland, same thing. She got screamed at in Alberta because she's the one that froze everyone's bank accounts based on hearsay. And then they had the former. Okay, so get this, you guys. I just want to refresh people's memories. When the Emergencies Act was invoked, it's supposed to go through a certain procedure. So it's supposed to go through the House, then the Senate, then they're supposed to decide within 7 days, and then issue the order. Trudeau fucking skipped all these steps. He wanted to have a meeting, but they already had a mediator involved between the convoy organizers and the mayor of Ottawa, Jim Watson, or whatever his name is, Watson. And also so the mediator went to them and said, like, when they called him in to try and like de-escalate the situation, he's like, I think on a scale of out of 10, he's like, we're at a 2. So then he met with the organizers, listened to them, and then he goes to the mayor of Ottawa, who was doing shady shit behind the chief of police's back to make him be the fall guy, because that's what he is right now, is the fall guy. Was doing things behind his back. So the mediator goes to the mayor of Ottawa and says, we're at an 8 out of 10. We have a resolution. Well, that wasn't good enough for Trudeau. So he calls the premiers of all the provinces. I can't remember the voting on it all. It's on the website, on the fucking government website. But they were trying to say, oh, it was a unanimous vote between the premiers, and he had all their support. Bullshit, because it's right on the freaking government website. Maybe he should have looked at that before he went and opened his big old fucking trap. You know what I'm saying? Because there's another lie. Like, the madness, you guys. Like, am I insane to think that people should be fucking honest? And like, if you're an asshole, be an asshole. Or if you're a good person, be a good person, but don't be fake. I fucking hate fake people. Like, God. Sorry, I'm still not looking at the chat. See, I go off on a fucking tangent. Okay, so what's going on? Evelyn, what's going on? What is that? He's really bad off right now. We're not sure if he's going to be around much longer. Who are you talking about? My friend has been affected 3 days after his first dose. He ended up in the hospital for a month. His immune system is attacking his body. Can't walk no more. Back in the hospital now for 3 weeks so far. Yeah. Well, and everyone's dropping dead of heart attacks. And you know what the leading cause of death in Alberta is right now? Unknown causes. But really, what it is people are having heart attacks and dying because of this. And you know what they want to do now? You know what the latest thing is they're pushing? Moderna. I seen this on Twitter today, and I almost wanted to say, listen here, let's go meet outside, man, and fucking put your fucking hands up. Like, oh, we have another treatment for you guys to repair the heart damage that we've caused you. Fuck. Why don't I just go lay down in front of your car and let you roll over me, you fucking assholes? Don't lie to me anymore. Like, oh, the insanity of it all. Like, or maybe, am I insane? Am I wrong? Like, tell me now. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm wrong. I would love to know this. And it's okay if you think I'm wrong. Maybe I am. I don't know. Like maybe I'm the one who should be like shady. Maybe that's the problem, is that like maybe I was meant to be born like in the baby boomer stage or something. I don't fucking know. Like I don't know. If I'm nuts, let me know. Like I'm asking, do I need a fucking white jacket? Like straight up, let me know. It's okay. Truth doesn't hurt me. I don't break out in hives from the fucking truth. And I'm sorry about your friend Evelyn, by the way. And I hope that he is okay. But you know, they made sure that we sign off all responsibilities and rights that you can't go after these fucking people. You know what I mean? Just don't worry about it. Someone in your family just dies way too early. You know what I mean? Like I have a couple health issues, but nothing major. You know what I mean? So when I went in the other day and she's like, she did this EKG, which I was surprised that she even did in the first place. And then she did it again. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I just hit the button or something. Like I could tell she was feeding me a line of bullshit and something was wrong. Cause like everything was high. Like my heart rate was high. My blood pressure was high. But I fucking hate hospitals. And I'm stressed out about this surgery. Right. And I'm wearing a goddamn diaper on my face again, which pisses me off to no end, right? So like of course I'm gonna go in there. I'm all pissed off. I thought I was gonna be in there for like, you know, an hour tops. And she's like, oh no, it's 3 or 4 hours. And I'm like, nobody told me that, right? So now I'm pissed off. But yeah, so something to do with EKG. I don't know. My heart is not beating right. I don't know what the fuck. But whatever. Like maybe that's my ticket to fucking freedom. Maybe that's freedom. You know, like let somebody else take over and deal with this shit. Cause like I'm fighting a losing fucking battle at this point. Like I just ah and the guy that I would like so sorry, you guys, ADD, right? So the war campaign was streaming the parliamentary proceedings. And like I said, this guy is always chill. He's always like very laid back, very relaxed, very zen. Like I like his energy. Like he's just a really good, smart dude, right? And even today, he's like, "You guys, I'm really sorry. I'm just so fucking pissed off." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm with you." Like, I walk around at like road rage level a lot. Like, and that's not me usually. Like, it usually takes a lot to really get me mad. But this is a couple years of this shit, and then they're threatening to do it again. I don't I don't think so. I don't think so. Not happening. So I am tough. I'm fuck, man. Fuck around and find out. That's all I'm saying. That's my new saying everywhere. I was just like, that's all I kept saying like all day today because really I got no other words. Like I'm still trying to process everything that's going on and like I'm just gonna put off these tests until the thing is, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with me other than the fact that I sleep a lot more than I used to, which is super weird for me. Like I used to be like a 5 hour a night kind of sleeper. And now, like, no joke, if I didn't have a dog to wake up to, like I could literally sleep for like 12 hours, like, and that is totally unheard of for me. So it's really bizarre. Like I don't know what that's from, but I also really don't care. Like, I mean, if it's my time, it's my time. That's what I believe. You know, we come in with a number and we go out with a number, and that it's just things happen for a reason. And if it was meant to be, then I'll just die. And if I'm not meant to, then I'll just rock on and party. You know, like woo woo. But yeah, I don't know. Uh, and then they wonder why we don't fucking trust anybody. Like I trust absolutely fucking nobody anymore. Like no one at all. You can't. We've been lied to by everybody we thought we could trust. People that I've been friends with for 20, 25 years. See you later. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Like, I am sick of chasing people down. Like, I don't know who the fuck some people think they are riding around on their high horse. Like, you think I need to fucking call you all the time or text you all the time or be the one to make the effort? No, I fucking don't. No, I don't. And I'm sick of it. And I've stopped. Like, I'm not chasing people. That's not my fucking thing. Like, I know who I am. I'm confident with who I am. What you see is what you fucking get. If I don't like you, I'm going to tell you straight up to your face, I don't fucking like you. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care what people think. I can have a civilized debate with somebody if, you know, they keep it on a respectful level. Like, if we don't agree, that's fine. I don't care. Like, I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm just telling you my truth, my story, my perception. I'll show you some videos, I'll back it up with facts, and then I'll say, you decide. You do your own thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm no fucking mind control person. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to hypnotize anybody or Fuck that. Like, I am a critical thinker, I'm an independent thinker, and I encourage everybody to be the same and question everything from fucking everyone. I don't care who it is. Don't believe a fucking soul. They were going on TV at one time. It's funny because I've been like, like I said, I've been looking through a lot of old videos and stuff. When this first came out, they were talking about putting people that were like unvaxxed in jail. And in some provinces, from what I understand, like they're in still some sort of lockdowns and shit. And it's just like the insanity of it all. Like they just don't want to let this go. Like they're power fucking drunk is what it is. Like if only it were legal to just reach out and touch someone, you know what I'm saying? Smack around the head a little bit, just give them a little bit of common sense here and a fucking sense of logic there and just boom, but not allowed to do those kinds of things because we frown upon that, not allowed. You're just expected to just walk around with your head ready to explode, don't worry about it. Like, whatever. I don't know. It is what it is. Oh, dude, I'll fight anybody. Like that's where I'm at right now. Like I'm just at the point where it's like, okay, if I'm going out, I'm going out with a fucking bang. Believe that. Like I'm not gonna let a heart attack take me down. I got some stuff to do. Know what I mean? I don't know. But I don't feel like anything's wrong with my heart. They said it's not beating properly. I don't know. Whatever. It's my heart rate was high, but then they're saying like my heart's skipping a beat. It's like, well, I don't know. Who knows? And who knows if that's even fucking true? Like, I don't trust doctors. I don't even trust anybody. You know what I mean? They all lied to us. Oh, you're helping others, you're protecting others. Like, and if you don't do this, then you're just a selfish fucking person. Like, they said all of these things. Like, and the reason why it affects some of us more than it affects others, like, I got PTSD, man. So getting called fucking names, like all kinds of names from not just like the people on TV, because really at the end of the day, nobody gives a shit about what they said. But like people bought that shit, hook, line, and sinker. So they all thought we were basically scum of the earth, you know what I mean? And and then living in restriction and in lockdown, like I've never been in jail and I could never go to jail because I'm too much of a free spirit to be. First of all, I'm claustrophobic, so I'm not going in a fucking cell. Forget it. Not gonna happen. Even if you can see through it, no way. And I don't do well with authority or rules. Like I think you guys could probably tell that much, you know, if it's a logical rule and it makes sense, But then I've learned over time that the way that I see things is not the way the majority of people, the way they see things. So I don't know, but it's got you questioning everything and everyone, you know? And that sucks that we have to live in a world like that, you know? Well, and then, yeah, don't even worry about the fucking old people facilities. Like, that's fucked up too. Like, I mean, totally fucked up. And like, you hear some of these horror stories from people that seem to be consistent, like, and she did a live the other day and she was talking about how one of her friends was in the hospital for something. I can't remember what it was. And um I wish I could remember what it was, but they wanted to intubate him. And she's like, no. And luckily for like the patient, I think it was a man, a friend of hers. Luckily for him, she is what do you call those? Legal, not a lawyer, paralegal. So she goes, no, I'm power of attorney over him, and he wishes not to be intubated. So like she fucking fought with the doctors for a couple hours, and finally they're like, okay, whatever. So she was like confident enough that like he was gonna be fine for the night, and she went home. She comes in the next day and he's fucking intubated. And she lost her shit. She's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, we had like, she wrote a legal letter to like the chief of the hospital or whatever. I don't know what their title is called. I don't know. And they're just intubating people to what seems like to the average bear is just to say whatever, like, you know what I mean? Population control. Like, I mean, And at this point, who knows what to fucking think? Because we've been lied to so much that it's not without the realm of possibility that maybe that is what it is. Who fucking knows? Like, I don't know. I love watching other people's shows and like hearing their opinions and their thoughts on stuff. And another thing about this commission that I'm very confused about is I was also watching another live the other day, and it was about one of the persons that is on the list of witnesses to testify. And they wanted this person to sign a non-disclosure agreement and submit all of their evidence. So once it is submitted, it is now property of the parliament and cannot be discussed again after this proceeding. That's what the NDA is for. So he called up the same paralegal that I was just telling you about and was like, listen, this person hasn't even spoke up yet and was heavily entrenched within the board or whatever of the convoy. And they called whoever and they were on the phone for like an hour and they advised him not to sign this NDA, but now he's on the list. So I don't know. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because two of the witnesses that are on the list still have pending fucking court cases, criminal court cases. So what's going to happen to them if they sign an NDA? They're not going to, what, if you think I'm going to go into court and get fucking rolled over by a deceptive judge to boot, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, it's just corruption everywhere. Like, our system needs a complete and total overhaul. Like, a complete one. Like, it's just, and it's not even just the system. It's everything. It starts in your municipal areas. It starts within your wards. It starts within your mayors, your school boards, your hospital boards. They're all in collusion with each other. The cops, the judges, the fucking mayors, all of them, everyone, from the bottom to the top. In every fucking place so far that I've seen. Some places are worse than others. And maybe the only reason why we know about it is because it was plastered all over the fucking TV and YouTube and internet and everything else. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, it makes you question everything. It makes you doubt everything. You don't know what's truth. And like this war, like, how do we know even if that's real? Like, I've heard some of the footage they're showing us from previous places, and like, you can't trust the media. Like, let me show you a fucking perfect example of that. Hang on 1 second. I got one video to show you. I was trying to upload more before, but I would have been really fucking late if I did. So, but this one's a good one. So hang on.
We got still lots of people everywhere, guys. We got the paid media over here in the alleyway. Away from all the good stuff happening. See this? Your media guys right here.
Nothing in the background.
They're filming a skit with nothing behind them. But if they went around this corner and shot right here, they could get those guys cooking dinner for everyone on the streets. They're having a pig roast over there, actually. That is wild. That's a full ass pig on that fucking, yeah.
They have a spit going, guys. They have a pig spit, a full pig on a spit.
Guys, they got a full pig right here. They're making dinner for the whole block. Look right here, right? You got all these people, they're making dinner for all the people on the street. And then if you go over here, you got these guys filming a skit with absolutely nothing behind them. That is unbelievable.
Fake news! Fake news! You guys are fake news!
Hell yeah.
You're a pussy. And you're a pathetic coward, buddy.
Get the dinner going
You're
on
pathetic.
the other side.
You're pathetic!
Paid media, guys. Paid media, guys.
You guys are just too much. Nice background, too. Great background. Why don't you guys come around the corner and show people making dinner, you pathetic coward?
Amazing. Amazing, guys. Yes,
That's the
sir.
fake news right there, buddy. Right there. That's fake fucking news right there. That is fake fucking news. That guy's a pathetic coward right there. So
Right?
is she. So is she.
Can smell the paycheck from here, buddy.
You guys are pathetic.
Oh, man.
Film that, girl. Get that. That's the fake news right there. Pussy security guard, too. You're a pussy. You are a pussy. I'm talking to you, buddy. I'm talking to you.
Oh, Buddy's rattled right now. Buddy is so rattled. Show what's really going on out here.
News over here with no background.
Amazing. Paid media, guys.
Paid media, fake fucking news, fake fucking news.
Oh, man.
You know what's funny is I have never before heard of fake news before Donald Trump said it. And like I've never really been one to watch the news anyways, like, you know, just kind of highlights and shit like that, but like I've never been like a news watcher. I remember when I was a kid, like my parents would put it on, you know, every day, watch a certain news station in the city that we lived. But those were way, way different times. That was a long ass time ago when there maybe was still a little bit of integrity in within the media. But the reason why I wanted to show that particular clip is because that was happening a lot in Ottawa. And I'm not kidding. Like you would literally, they would drive up to a location, like they were having a hard time at within the crowds because like all of these stories come out, like people seeing the truth now, and you see that people don't like them, right? Like you see something, you say something, you call them out. Well, they weren't welcome in a lot of places, and they were not welcome during the press conferences held within the convoy either. And they were doing that. So you'd literally watch like their news van drive up to a location. The cameraman and the fucking journalist would jump out, or the reporter, whatever you call them, would jump out, film their story, and boom, gone within like not even 2 minutes. Like, and who knows what their story was? Like, you know, I can't remember who was getting out of jail. Somebody was getting released, and I don't know if it was Tamara Leach or if it was Pat King. But there's a dude, we call him Punchy McGregor, and I think he's from CTV News. He's such an asshole. But like he was like there was people out front, and like everybody had this thing where it's like, oh, we're gonna block the mainstream media because they're painting us in the wrong light. Like they're not helping us. You know what I mean? They want the story. They're kicking everybody out of the way with their fucking 1980s big old ass cameras. So everybody's like kind of circled around the door so they couldn't get through and couldn't get footage. And this dude, Punchy McGregor, was like literally pushing people, like assaulting people. Now you know that if it was just a regular person that assaulted a fucking journalist or whatever they're called, a reporter or whatever, you know there'd be charges laid. Like, I seen this other live the other day. I should have downloaded it. I think of all these things when I'm talking. But like when the clan mothers were in front of Parliament and they gave their speech, they literally parked their car in a non-parking zone for like 2 minutes, okay? Yeah, they got a ticket. And that's not what they were pissed off about. And these two cops, I guess, were harassing this one guy. There was a few guys, and I don't know if it was his car or if he just happened to be in the area at the time. But they were fucking like saying like these cops harass one of the guys that was there all the time. And like the cops were like fighting back and forth. And this is all caught on camera. And the cop said to him, he's like, you're nothing but a, excuse my language, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this word, but this is honest verbatim what the cop said to this civilian. He goes, you're nothing but a rapist for wearing that hockey jersey. And I was like, we were all just like, what the fuck? Like all the people that were watching the live were just like, what? Like, did he just fucking say that? Like, how professional are you? You're supposed to be a policeman. You're standing out of your car, you're screaming, you're swearing, you're yelling, you're calling people the R word. Like, I mean, it's just, you're an embarrassment to the fucking uniform, bud. And no wonder why people have a bad taste in their mouth when they hear the word cops. Like, and when I hear people sticking up for them, it makes me suspicious of them. Because I've seen way too much. Like, I'm not fucking gullible, okay? And I'm not fucking naive. So take your story somewhere else. Maybe to Punchy McGregor. He might buy your bullshit, but I don't. Like, and that's great that you may have, you know, law enforcement in your family and you get special treatment. You maybe have an invisibility shield, but I fucking don't. So I don't like them. I try to stay away from them. You know, I refuse to speak with them anymore. Like, I have no respect for them, and I can't deal with it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they would for sure. You got that right. I haven't even been looking at the chat. Exactly. Yeah. And that's sad when you live in a world where you fucking doubt everybody. Like, and then get this, when something nice happens to me, I'm like, I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Not thank you. Why? What do you want? Like, what's the catch? You know what I mean? I always think there's a catch. I always think, like, and even if people are telling me the truth, I just don't believe them. Like, it's it's gonna take a long time, if ever. And some people might never get past it. Some people will always forever now doubt people and cops and the media and just everything. Like, and I don't know. So I think I was talking about the story and I got fucking off topic like I always do. I apologize. I have ADD. So in this first parliamentary proceedings, in the middle of when they were trying to invoke the Emergencies Act illegally, by the way, um they went to the former police chief, Peter Slowly, and they said, "This is what we want you to do." And like, this is just conjecture because obviously we don't know what happened behind closed doors. But it come down to they wanted him to do something that he didn't want to do. And they're making him the fall guy. Okay. And I think he was paid to go away, if you know what I'm saying, or retire, or I don't know what his status was. I believe he retired. And they were really focusing on that in the meeting, and they were wanting him to say the words that we already know, is that he was getting pressure from the officials and he didn't believe in it, and they brought someone in that would do their fucking dirty work for them. This guy also, the new guy, interim chief police chief Bell, he's got a fucking like hooked on phonics type look to him too, like twitchy and just weird. Like, I don't know where these people come from, or I don't know, but it's just bizarre. But yeah, so he stepped down during when they invoked the Emergencies Act. Like, that doesn't scream a red flag anywhere to anyone, does it? So I don't know. Like, there's just so many questions, like more questions than answers. And it'll be interesting in the next 6 weeks. So I will keep you guys posted. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to put another video together. I've been trying to get some more videos and stuff. I just got to get in the right headspace to do it. But I got surgery tomorrow, so I'm probably going to be laid out for a few days. I don't know how long it takes to heal, but so maybe I'll have time, or I don't know, maybe I won't feel like it. But I will be in touch with you guys soon. Sorry that I wasn't really looking at the comments. I was just on a rant today. It needed to be done. So again, the justice that we can take away from this is that A, we were right. We can stick our middle fingers up to all the people that made you feel like a piece of shit when you were trying to speak your mind and they didn't want to hear it. And that all of these people, whether they lose their jobs or not, there's not going to be a place in society that they can go where they're not going to be booed at, yelled at, screamed at, told to fuck off, and that can be justice enough. And maybe their next career will be a Walmart greeter because that's all they're going to be able to get. So we got to take the wins when we can, as we can. And I'm going to go because my dog's giving me that look. But thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you guys soon. And if you want to laugh, check out the previous video that I uploaded. Oh my God. Fuck. Like, I can't believe it. Like, the world must be laughing at us. It's absolute insanity. We're living in a fucking madhouse. Anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Evelyn, I hope your friend's going to be okay. Let me know. Thanks for joining, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out, bitches.